Daisy Thomas with us from Monday morning.
Good morning, team. How are we all?
Morning,
Yeah,
Daisy.
great.
You've had a hectic weekend. There's so many. Will this game happen? Won't this game happen? How did it pan out for you?
Yeah, it was very, very busy. Friday night footy started off with the Blues for me, and then Saturday I was in again at the MCG watching the Pies play. That was very
They
good.
had a win.
And then all as that was that game was playing, the news was breaking of the situation up in Queensland where we pretty much got told to bugger off. The Melbourne Footy Club were on their way up there. They had 8 hours on a plane. It's reported that they got diverted from the Gold Coast to Brisbane, and then they sat on on a tarmac somewhere with the door open on the aeroplane.
Well, at least they could have the door open.
Well, that's something.
Yeah.
Apparently one of the great mysteries and things of travel is that when the people open the door at the other end on long haul, the amount of farts that come out
the
is
smell would be rancid.
just horrific.
Oh, it'd be like going into a teenage boy's bedroom.
Yeah. Anyway, so that didn't happen, but just a fun fact.
Yeah.
And from there, it was a doubleheader yesterday at Marvel Stadium for me. So I had the
Oh, my
first
God.
game at midday, and then I was back again at 6 o'clock to watch the Giants take on Port.
Oh, what an awful day.
It's been a big week. It's been a big weekend.
Melbourne absolutely flogged the Gold Coast.
Yeah, it was a little bit of Melbourne were really good, and the Gold Coast Suns were just really, really poor.
4-6.
Yeah, 4-6, and they didn't score a goal for about 90 minutes at one point there. I think it was 89 minutes and 40-odd seconds, so they were just non-competitive. Melbourne were really good, but Gold Coast were just horrible, horrible, horrible. And we haven't seen that sort of performance from the
No,
Gold Coast for the best part
years.
of a couple of years. So
Stuart Dew must hate that. He must go home and think, what is this all for if
Yeah.
they can go 4-6?
Well, it's just tough, isn't it? And the thing is, and we were speaking about this on air yesterday, was unfortunately for the Gold Coast, there's no real history to fall back on for the footy club. So if you play for Collingwood, you play for Carlton, you have a 100-point loss, it means a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, the ex-players come out, it's, we don't stand for this. They don't really have any of that to fall back on. So that's why
No.
they find themselves in a little bit of limbo. All they got to fall back on really is, Hollywood showgirls and a nice stripped-down Melbourne. So
Yeah.
it's not really the same, is it?
Tony Cochran giving him another speech.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I think it's co-ring.
What else caught your eye over the weekend?
Well, the Hawks
Good game
were-
between
the
the Bombers and GWS.
That was a good game yesterday,
Swans.
and the Hawks Brisbane one was a really big one. They were featuring my winners, the Hawks, after what was a massive Friday
Oh.
down at Waverley Park when it came out, and after weeks and weeks of saying Clarko saying he was going to be the coach for the rest of his tenure there, which was this year and then next year.
What do you think? What's going on there?
Well, there's certainly been some moving parts, and no doubt that Clarko, I think, played it pretty well. He positioned himself as, I want to coach, and that's how it's going to be, full well knowing that once they sort of figured this out a little bit more, because it was really rushed, they made the decision based on the fact that once the Collingwood job became available and the Pies reached out to Sam Mitchell, the Hawks didn't want Mitchell to even go and interview there. So he did the right thing. He said, look, I'm going to go interview. They said, no, we're going to move really fast on this one. They didn't really think it through, come up with a decent plan. They just thought, bugger it, we'll have our cake and eat it too. Clarko can be the coach. We'll keep you for a succession plan. And I think full well Clarko knew that was not going to be the case whatsoever. It was never going to be as smooth as they were all pretending. And on the back of that, after a couple of weeks, and imagine being the players, and I think that's where it all started getting really messy when the players went to some of the power brokers there and said, look, this is becoming very, very tough. We've got the coach and the coaching waiting, and there's a couple of different messages coming out.
Yeah,
So-
but that's it. I would have thought Sam Mitchell just sits there quietly and waits and keeps getting balls out of containers for blokes to kick at training.
Yes, well, apparently that wasn't the case.
I
So
would have thought Sam just shushy shush.
just hush in the corner
Have
there.
you met Alistair?
Yes.
One
greatest coach of
one
the
of the
modern era.
greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah, so and from there, I think it went straight to the top, and Big Jeffrey got on and
What are we thinking of Jeff's involvement in this?
look, I'm a bit of a simple man when it comes to this sort of stuff, but all I do is I listen to Damien Barrett speak about it, and he just says, if Clarko goes, Jeff's got to go, because it's got Jeff's fingerprints all over it. So whether or not that's the case, though, we'll wait and see.
Daisy Thomas is with
Daisy's
us.
winners. Winning. I win here and I win there.
Daisy's winners.
Yeah, Stacey's winners, and it's going to be really good today. I just got a good feeling about this one. A little bit of an honourable mention to the WB, the Western Bulldogs. They're sitting on top of the ladder as it stands. 60 points they're on for the year, best percentage in the comp. So they are humming. They don't feature, though. They were very good to get a win over the Adelaide Crows, the winners. The first one, my two old teams, the Pies
Yes.
and the Blues.
Yes.
Pies, fantastic. I sat here on Wednesday and declared them on the midweek rub.
Well
Wayne
done.
Carey again laughed at me, almost laughed me out of the studio after only a fortnight ago I tipped North Melbourne to beat West Coast. So West Coast are proving me to be a nice little pundit, but the Pies were really good. Well done to them. Their young kids are coming along. And the Blues, 31 points after absolutely stinking it up last week against North Melbourne.
Yes.
Unbelievable turnaround. And Charlie Curnow, the young star, we've seen a little bit of him. He's been out a long time injured. He got through. He kicked a nice goal. So that was a fantastic moment for footy. Well done to those
Does
two.
any of this help Teague, or do you feel like the writing's on the wall?
Well, winning obviously helps, but the loss the week before, I'm not sure you get over that just because you have a good win a week later.
Do you feel like somebody's already made a decision about him?
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, good.
Yeah, hopefully
like
not.
him.
I do like
He's
Teague
no
as well.
rude boy.
I'm a big fan of the Teague train. So fingers crossed they can keep winning for them, and they're actually somewhat of a chance, a small chance. But if
To
they
make the eight
if they
with
all
14
win,
other teams.
If they, well, that's the beauty of it. The second one, I've given some love to the AFL, as we mentioned off the top.
Oh, this is nice.
Logistical nightmare.
Wouldn't it have
Brisbane.
been? Gillen must have woken up and gone, holy hell.
And I feel for Gil because every time his phone rings, we've all been there. Your phone rings, you look at it, you go, geez, I don't want to answer that.
No, no.
He has to answer
Normally
it.
it's mum.
Yeah, correct. He has to answer it, or the missus. And anyway, I should have gone home. It's 3 days. So Gil, the phone rings on a Saturday afternoon, and he has to then move two games out of the Queensland, I should say, and then find another venue, shuffle everything, balls in the air everywhere. So well done to him for making the round go ahead. They could have had the opportunity just to calm the farm a little bit and use that bye week. They didn't want to do that, so they manipulated it perfectly.
They're really determined to keep that bye week, aren't they?
Well, I think they just wanted up their sleeve just in case it goes completely tits up, which
it could.
In this current climate, anything could happen.
Yeah.
And the biggest love, we spoke about them, the Hawks. After a week from genuine hell, the players came out against the Brisbane Lions, who were trying to get themselves into the top four. I think they're fifth at the minute. They're not playing the best football, but the Hawks, 12-point winners, up by 50 points, and just passion, good old-fashioned
Up by
passion.
50 points, were they?
They were. Brisbane did not
What
fire
is
a
going
shot.
on?
They were horrible, but to the Hawks' credit, they were unbelievable. Jaeger O'Meara, one of the best-looking men in football, was fantastic. 35 disposals. They played for the coach.
Yes.
The old-fashioned. They got themselves up. They came out real steely resolve. So they were fantastic, and they were my winner of the round.
Well done, Daisy.
Thank you very much.
Great to see you, mate.
I'm just a ripper.
You look fresh too, by the way.
Oh, I'm not fresh. Oh, boy.
Chat to you next week.
The Mighty Sheargold Show. Triple M.